Greetings, everybody, and welcome to the Tuesday Tirade Entertainment Talk. I'm going to put Tom in the right spot, and there we go. We're off to the races. How are you doing today, Tom? Doing well?
Peachy keen. I think that's the way the kids are saying it.
That's what the kids are saying nowadays. All right,
I think so.
As long as you and I are both hip. I mean, we are definitely.
Oh, we're totally with it.
We're totally with it. Absolutely. Yeah. So, what an interesting week. We've had news and non-news. Did you get a chance to see the Shang-Chi trailer?
I did. I did watch it.
What did you think?
I'm interested. It looks like a cool kung fu movie. As far as a Marvel connection, I didn't feel it or see it, but hey, I'm much more interested than I was when I first heard about it.
Yeah, doesn't it kind of live in that world that that you aren't quite sure if it's a Marvel film? It says, because there are some of those, right, where just Marvel comics that aren't like married to anything else, and I think maybe that's it.
I was just gonna say, don't get me wrong, though. At the same time, I enjoy that aspect of a lot of the at least earlier Marvel movies. Mm-hmm. Where there was a variety to them. It felt like you were getting a different movie every time. Guardians of the Galaxy was a sci-fi comedy. Ant-Man was a caper movie. The Winter Soldier was a political thriller. You kind of got these different things. Like speaking of 420 being the day, Doctor Strange was a psychedelic kind of whatchamacallit, I don't know what you'd call it, just a crazy fucking movie.
It was.
I enjoy it. I mean, I'm a lot more interested than I was.
And I think I can say the same thing. I mean, being familiar with the character is one thing, which I was, but being able to see a little bit more of it and to add to some of the out of context clips I'd seen early on, that makes a lot of sense. Now I'm starting to get it and what they're going to try to do with it. But at the same time, you're telling some of the story that we've seen before in various things. I mean, you've seen it a version of this in a couple of different films before, right? There's elements of Dragon, the Bruce Lee story. There's elements of like
Enter the Dragon kind of stuff.
Yeah, you've seen Cobra. Some elements of that. You've seen. There's going to be a lot of that stuff, but then they're going to dump it into the modern world. So, and of course, the action scenes are looking very impressive. I think it might be something that's up there with. Maybe the presentation that we should get or expect with what's it called? It's another Mortal Kombat, which we were just talking about. Right?
Yeah. Interestingly, I the first 7 minutes of that dropped on YouTube this morning via Warner Brothers and HBO Max. And one thing I can say, the action sequence so far that I've seen in that was pretty brutal and kick-ass. I've heard some mixed reactions to the film already because it's out in some areas in the not in the U.S. but in other regions. So I'm kind of looking forward to it, but hoping it's not as bad as some people say it is. That opening scene though is pretty badass.
Yeah, I'd heard a couple of mixed things too. I mean, obviously my expectations were lowered the minute I realized why they weren't bringing Johnny Cage in. That was really disappointing. Um,
Yeah, and then there was like this last week, a writer was kind of trying to distance himself from the movie or some shit. So that's
wow,
never a good sign, you
no.
know.
The minute somebody affiliated that closely with it that starts to say, "Well, there was some studio interference," things are sideways. So
Once in a great while, you'll just have that asshole who's a prima donna who's just pissed that they didn't use, whatever it was he brought to the table. But 9 times out of 10, that's just not a good sign. It's just a
yeah,
sign that, yeah, like you said, there was too much studio interference or a director who just decided, I don't give a shit. I'm just going to do it my way and
yeah.
throw out the Bible, aka script in this case.
Well,
So yeah,
and yeah, that happens. I mean, and here's the thing. I mean, directors are going to take a little license with scripts from time to time and just try to because they want to craft the scene slightly differently than it was presented to them in the screenplay. They shoot extra footage that they include instead of what was supposed to be there. I mean, that happens a lot in films, and then of course studios get involved and screw stuff up. So I guess we'll just
make
have
you
to
say
see.
booyah.
Yeah, booyah! God, dude, that this Fisher thing still irritates me because I'm thinking, look, dude, you did so much damage to your career for no traction. If you kept your mouth shut, and just you could have said, look, I don't feel like I was properly represented in the film. I said as much during the course of the film. The Snyder film, is closer to the representation of the character that I anticipated that the film would be, and what we got in the Whedon cut was different. He's like, I'm looking, and he could have just said, I'm looking forward to representing this character in the future as it's supposed to be, and was represented in Zack Snyder's version of the film, and he'd have been fine,
Yeah.
right? But he still went after Hamada, and although I really don't want the Hamada verse, right? Because that's what who said that the other day? Somebody said it was the Hamada verse. Was it?
That's kind of what it's been dubbed.
Yeah, but it was Mikey Sutton, right?
I think so. I was always one who kind of called it the reboot multiverse or whatever they want to, But yeah, I guess that's just as easy to call it the Hamada verse.
Yeah, and I don't want it. They don't know what they're doing. I mean, I've firmly landed on the thought process that the people that are in charge of pretty much everything, except for obviously Kalar, who knows what he's doing business wise, all those other voices are a hot mess, and they shouldn't be in those positions because they didn't come up in the industry the way you would have to. And I think that's the biggest problem in these studios right now is they all have their positions because of who they know, not because of their experiences.
Oh shit, is that real? Jim Steinman died at 73.
Whoa,
Damn.
shit, really? I'll look it up.
Oh man,
A bummer.
that really sucks. Great songwriter.
Yeah, he is. He passed away.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, super sucks.
Oh man.
God, he wrote for everybody too.
Oh yeah.
Meatloaf, Celine Dion, everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, he wrote that out of hell.
I need a hero.
I need a hero. Yeah, God. Fuck. Sucks.
Total Eclipse of the Heart. I think he wrote that too.
Yeah, and he wrote that. He wrote the thing for I can't remember which one, but is it one of those Air Supply tunes? Good God, dude.
Man, that sucks.
It super sucks.
Yeah. Bad Out of Hell was one of those albums for me, man.
Dude. Man, what a bummer. I'm wow. All right. Well, that was super fun.
Anyway, sorry for the detour there, but yeah.
No, it's cool.
Fuck. That sucks.
All
right.
We've been losing a lot of people, dude. Have you noticed that? It's like I mean, even people in their 50s. We're losing people down into their 50s now.
Well, it could be that fucking. Well, I ain't gonna say it, but anyway.
Oh, I know what you were gonna say. I don't want to go there, but I know what you were gonna say. So
yeah.
Well, let's go back real quickly to Mortal Kombat. So, for those of us here in the U.S., although it's released elsewhere, we get to see it in 3 days, right? Because it shows up in the world on the 23rd. So I feel like that's going to be pretty cool. But
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we'll see. I just hope some of the negatives I've heard are not reflected in the film. I hope it's somebody's projecting on top of it. And I'm getting better about like ignoring some of the bologna sausage. But I just sometimes you just can't avoid it. Anyway, let's say hi to some of the folks in the chat. We haven't done that yet. We're 10 minutes in. We've got Larry here. What's up, Larry? Good to see you. Thank you for becoming a member, my friend. We've got Lord Thoth, a member and a moderator. Plus, he's a modrotic, so pretty cool guy. Thank you for being here, Lord Thoth. Six is here. What's going on, Six? I hope you're doing very well. We've got Willie Woodward. Iluvrian Imakara is saying quality. What is this that you speak of? Plus, happy Tuesday. Well, happy Tuesday to you. Let's see. You want to read this one, Tom, real quick?
Hello, Culture Casino and Tom. By the way, really loved the members only live stream. Oh, well, two very different things. Cannot wait to participate in the next one. A++++. Great experience. Thumbs up. IVE. Whatever that means.
I really appreciate you showing up for that. It was a lot of fun. I love to do those. It's a great way to hang out with people. Plus, every once in a while I have a guest, or two. Tom was gracious enough to lend us a few moments of his time on a very busy day, and I'm always appreciative of Tom. So I hope you guys support him everywhere he goes, including Mead Radio.
I should do a 420 edition today.
Yeah, I really wish we could. I still have a work day in front of me this afternoon. So.
No, I might, because I'm supposed to do, we're bringing back Midnight's Edge After Dark finally, after its hiatus this afternoon, evening, cool. Whatever. Yeah. That's at 5 Central. So maybe between this and there, maybe I'll do a special Beat Radio.
Yeah, a little 420 edition. You can right now, if you go to Variety, they have lined up a whole lot of shopping sites for the Dead merchandise, which is real popular on today.
A bunch of Cheech and Chong skits.
And that'd be so great, dude. I love that so
much. I got all their albums.
Yeah,
I got them on vinyl and CD.
Dude, I don't. That's so funny because I have them all digitally, but I don't think they're anywhere in my vinyl collection. I don't know where half of that crap went. The boss and I have like a closet full of vinyl, and so it's just just a lot of that stuff. Plus, I've got it over at my folks' house.
I even got the one that's shaped like a pill.
Wow. Yeah.
See, the album when you fold it out, it's like a big red pill. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. Over at my folks' house in the basement, I'm inheriting a whole lot of vinyl from my stepdad. So I'm looking forward to 30, 40, 50 years from now inheriting that, because I don't need my folks to go anywhere anytime soon. So, but anyway, I want to say hi to, of course, Critizable the Crazed and Keely Chow and Just Another Redshirt, who's also a modrotic and a member and a mod here. So thank you for being here, Just Another Redshirt, or should I say Mr. Shirt. And then, of course, we have the Sufer family. Good to see you. We also have Brightest Day. What's up? We are underway. So, yes, we commenced go. We are off and running. Valiant Renegade is here.
Renegade.
Yeah, an up-and-comer. I'm telling you, this guy's going places, guys. He's one of those. He's a rocket, man. I can't wait to see what he does over the course of the next 5-6 months. I think his channel is going to have explosive growth. Plus, he's a lot of fun, and he's a big supporter of the community. So, thanks for being here, Valiant.
Absolutely. We got Willie in the chat. And we got
Big Willie,
April and Kashyyyk Queen, and Amber and Ords are in the chat.
Yeah, Chef Nation is here saying happy 420. Happy.
You're trying to say hello to Days?
Yeah.
Hello. I like Brightest Dave. I don't. What's Tom fact number 1? We got Tom fact number 2. As long as Tom gets 30 minutes of sleep every 2 weeks, he can keep going from stream to stream without stopping. I'm curious what Tom fact number 1 is now.
No, me too. Did we miss it?
We got Mags. We got 6 in the chat. Look at that.
Yeah. Well, and Amber dropped us a super sticker.
Yeah, she did.
So thank you for that, young lady. I appreciate it very much.
You know who holds the purse in that family.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. And it's not the guy with the super long hair. Hey, Runner. Apollo Patriot. Look at all these lovely humans. Thanks for rolling in here, guys. I truly appreciate your support. And Bear Dog. I know. I've been lax in getting the merch up. I apologize. I will get it up. There are a lot of people requesting it, so it's going to be great.
Tom fact number 0. There is no Tom fact number 1.
Oh boy. Man, I am so far behind on the chat, guys. I apologize. But I think we're catching up. Tom fact number 0. Okay, I'm catching
Yeah,
up.
that's where we're at.
Yeah.
That's where we're at. You're behind.
I'm sorry. Captain Robert April
Boomer.
says Valiant's going to pass me. Yeah. Thank you, low spec Linux laptop. I appreciate your support, my friend. If I missed anybody, guys, it wasn't on purpose. I know Ords is here. He's saying hi to Runner. He dropped a sticker. Oh, dude. I didn't.
Shots fired. I just had to pick on yours. I was waiting for that.
You guys are awesome. I love it. I love you guys.
What
What's
the
up,
fuck is
Zach?
that supposed to mean?
I don't know. Look, it's Mags. Mags is here, and with a super sticker. I saw her over on well, I guess what are we calling it? Midnight's Edge in Espanol? Is that what
Midnight's
that
Edge Espanol, yeah.
Yeah, it's freaking awesome. It was cool. And again,
It's Midnight's Edge Espanol.
okay, well, very good. Oh, this is for you, Tom. Do this.
Greetings, my excellent friends.
Thank you. I love that. Oh, wait, Tom fact number 2.
Congo.
Thank you. All right, we're off and running. But Mags, thank you very much for the super sticker. I appreciate that very much. You guys really know how to come in here swinging. So I really
Hammer's like hashtag shots fired.
yeah, absolutely.
I ain't trying to start no shit over at the Ord's house.
The Ord's house. Well, I can tell you that she dropped one of my favorite super stickers. It's a little Shiba Inu farting hearts. So, but you guys are going to get to see the bear dog here in a minute because he's having a fuss fit. So I'm gonna have to grab him pretty quick.
Dog.
Yeah. You posted some Swedish stuff. Cool. I got to check that out. I will be checking out your channel tonight as part of my rotation for people I'm following. So let's see. Al Aldofsson. Cool. Al Adolfson. That's probably the proper way to say it. It's too bad that some have already cited a film is bad before it is shown. Yeah, I always want to give it a chance. I don't like to hear some stuff. And again, a lot of people could just be seeing ghosts. I know I say that an awful lot, but maybe there's elements of some stuff that you aren't super happy to be in.
On the other side of that, though, there's like, look, especially somebody who's seen as many movies as I have, you can kind of tell by a trailer sometimes or the first 10, 15 minutes of a movie what the hell you're getting into.
That's true.
But I mean, I get it. No, I mean, there's been a few times where, you know, bad things coming out about a movie weren't necessarily true.
Well, and I mean, but that happens all the time. I mean, think about all the self-sabotage you were trying to do with the Snyder Cut, right?
Sort of, kind of, yeah. Well, self-sabotage, you put big quotations around that, but yeah.
There you go. I'm going to grab Bear Dog real quick.
Koalas in the rain. All fucks given. Saw Mortal Kombat will put out a spoiler-free review. So you saw the whole movie already. Cool, brightest day. I saw that first 7 minutes that were on YouTube. I thought it looked pretty badass.
Yeah, I want it to be good. I really do. Again, I mean, I liked when I saw the trailer with that ridiculously composited smoke reveal and all of that. It blew my mind. I'm like, gosh, that's like 40 layers of composite just to get that special effect on screen. And I'm like, that, I mean, and that took somebody like, for just the few seconds that it was there, it probably took somebody a couple weeks, 10 days.
I hope not.
Well, you know how that works. I mean, they just keep layering it. Looked freaking amazing.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I know. I get that in my head from the old films. Yeah, I love it. You know what? I like chocolate milk too.
Who doesn't?
Chocolate milk mix, absolutely.
Chocolate cows.
You got to, yeah. You got to hit Ords up for that. He's the lord of the chocolate milk mix. I guess.
He got the good kind with the special treatment in it, or special magic mix?
We were talking about that on Sunday, and I tried to give people hints, like, you know, put your chocolate milk glass in the freezer ahead of time. Get it really.
You hear that, or send me some chocolate milk packets. Hint, hint, hint.
Well, I like the syrup. I'm a big fan of the syrup. I really am.
No. You're not. Never mind.
No, what?
It's that day, you know, that special day. You can get chocolate or hot chocolate mix.
Yes, yeah, you can.
Just change out the box. Nobody will know the difference.
Bat Tom is neither a bat nor a Tom. Discuss. Oh, I think he's one of each. How's that?
Oh, that's
Oh yeah,
mind
Bear Dog right here, guys. Here's Bear Dog. He's chilling. He was having a little bit of a fuss fit, so it was like, I want to get up, but I don't want to be up. So Casino has a real bear. He's not a real bear.
He looks a little pissed off at you right now. Wouldn't you? Did you not give him a treat?
No, he's had plenty today. What is your deal? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, never mind. He's all right.
Yeah, he's
he just had pissed off eyes for a moment there.
Yeah, no, he's grumpy face. He's sometimes he's like in the middle of the nap. He wakes up, he has a fuss fit, and he's able to go back to sleep. But not today. So
Professor Anthrax, I hope that the movies didn't damage your eyesight.
Yeah,
but I'm sad to hear that.
Yeah, it's a bummer. But I love films. I've been watching them since I was a kid. So, and this is for you, Lord Thoth.
Fatality.
There you go. Delagabulus, hello and greetings to you, my friend. Kai MFS is here. Man, you guys are rolling in. We need to start talking about something because we me? Who do you hate specifically, or it's not me? It can't be Kashyyyk. I don't know.
He's mad at me right now.
Really? All right.
Yeah, because I called him out for and then he had to prove me wrong, and now he's all pissy.
Boots. You got the shoes. There, you guys got to see the shoes. So, all right, stay here, be part of the show. All right,
he's the star now. You know that, right?
I know. I love him. We
might as well not even try. We might as well just spend the rest of the show going, bear dog, bear dog. There's a bear dog.
Never work with kids or animals.
Because you know what we're going to see in the rest of the puppy is going to fly up in the chat every 10 seconds now.
I know. Culture bear. Yeah. Real bear. Puppy so cute. Yeah.
Bear dog got boots. See,
and there's the boss. The boss is watching.
See, it show's over, folks.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Kitty Bear. Thank you for the super sticker, my friend. It's good to see you.
I might as well just go get the cat.
Oh, we could have a cat and dog show.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's over.
Thank you for the popcorn, Kitty Bear. I appreciate it. Okay, let's actually talk about a thing.
Sure.
Oh, what's up, Michael T? All right, so here's the thing. I'm going to share it right now. This is the whole point this is the whole reason I brought up this title for the thumbnail, because this hit me wrong. I don't know if it hit you wrong, Tom, but this is just one version of this story, right? Disney Television turned down incredibly well-written scripts for not being inclusive enough, senior executive says.
Imagine that. Wow, I wonder what kind of a system could be set up that could allow something like this to happen.
And we predicted this. I mean, we've been predicting it for a while, that's going to influence what we get as far as entertainment for television and film. We know from some of the people that we both know that it's already been happening for some period of years now. We're going on almost 2 years, maybe, or somewhere near that.
Well, longer than that.
Over a year.
Well, this is a common thing. Like, okay, first of all, it's nothing new that Hollywood will bypass a really good script to make a sequel or a spinoff or what have you, something that they know is going to make them money no matter what. But what we're seeing here is like you said, it's the whole inclusive enough thing. Can't you just change a character? Like, it shouldn't fucking matter. Like, if the script is good and unless it's specific, I don't see a problem here. Well, I'm failing to see the issue here as to why you can't just. Why is this character can't be black? Why is it this character can't be Asian? Why can't this character be a woman instead? I mean, if it's especially if it's something we don't know, we won't have a problem with it because we've never seen it before.
Right. And do you know what I don't do when I write stories, or what I haven't really ever remembered doing? I haven't delineated a particular color for somebody. I might call out like an eye color maybe, or possibly
Exactly.
a hair color, but
Well,
I mean, in the stories that I wrote, and I've written a few, I didn't, I didn't care.
no.
I don't care what color, dwarf you are in one of my fantasy things that I was writing.
Well, unless you're specifically telling a story about a specific event in history, a specific person, something that's personal to you and you want it to be this kind of a thing, and even those stories can be predominantly black or whatever. Point being is this just doesn't even compute. Like the point, a great example I always bring up when it comes to this is Alien, because that script was written so every single character could be interchanged with race and gender. There was nothing there in the script that said any of these characters has to be a woman, a man, black, white, what have you. Nothing in there specifies any of that shit. Up to the point where almost all of the names are pretty gender neutral.
Yeah. Yeah. And look, you can write stories like that. So then you have to remember, now we have this new test, and I can't, every time I try to think of the name of it, I can't remember it, that you have to have a certain number of women not talking about, or in a relationship, having a conversation in a hallway or just off quietly somewhere or whatnot. What's that, litmus test they created?
I don't remember now. The Bechtel
Yeah.
test.
Yeah, that's what it is, the Bechtel. And that stuff it's just absolutely ridiculous. And I thought I would highlight this comment by Mike Beat. Tom times culture equals mullets.
You probably are right. I want a mullet right now. You know what I would give for a mullet? I would take all the bullshit and be like, shut the fuck up and just love my beautiful mullet.
That's right, because you would love to just have all the hair. You would. Would you consider
Hells
doing a
yeah.
Gallagher?
Would I consider doing a what?
A Gallagher?
What is that? Where you just have long hair on the sides and nothing on top?
And in the back, yeah, because he was bald on the top.
No, fuck that. I don't want to spend the rest of my life looking like a pencil with the eraser bit off. Only Gallagher fans will get that.
Yeah. God, he was so great. I loved Gallagher. I know a lot of people thought he was goofy comedy, but I loved his approach to things, especially language, like Carlin. They both had a great approach to language, which I really appreciated. But Roof Korean sends us a $5 super chat and says, hey, glad to see Tom made it. Culture is busy on a billion streams. Suggestion for Midnight's Edge, should do an RLM style panel show covering cult films.
You never know.
Red Letter Media. What do you think, Tom? Can we talk about Flash Gordon?
Possibly. Well, we do have something like okay, because we've been doing I've never seen the Bond films, so I've been watching them, and mainly we've had Robert Meyer Burnett be a part of that. Yeah, no, you're definitely going to be on one eventually too here. But the thing is when he's not around, we're going to be doing other stuff. So, and then when the Bond films, we're just going to fill that void. Otherwise, too, with other films that are either classics or cult classics or movies that Andre, Rob, and I should have seen at some point or another, and we just hadn't. So yeah, that's something that's definitely on the agenda because, like, specifically, Andre's never seen like The Last Starfighter. Recently I just watched Bridge on the River Kwai upon Rob's request. Rob just watched Shin Godzilla pretty much upon Andre's request. So yeah, we're already kind of getting going. I sent Rob like Gremlins and Gremlins 2. He said he'd never seen Gremlins 2 all the way through. So a lot of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think it would be a great idea for a show. So if you guys decide to pursue that, let me know, because I'm sure there's films I haven't seen.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. So, and I love
it's already kind of been discussed.
Yeah, I love it. It's awesome. El Lagabalus says, okay, assign LGBTQ actors who are talented and give great screen tests to good scripts. Oh, yeah, absolutely. As long as they're great actors, gender or race shouldn't matter. No, it shouldn't. But see, that's the problem, is they're marketing it as the most important. They're marketing immutables, which blows my mind. We've gone from content of your character all the way back in time to immutables. Well done. Anyway. Yeah, I saw this.
Well, and not to steal a quote from Bill Maher, if your movie's so goddamn woke, then why the hell did I fall asleep during it?
Dude, he spoke a lot of truth, right? He really did.
Last couple of weeks, he's been maybe he heard us bitch him out for not sticking up for Gina enough that day, and he's kind of been on fire the last couple of weeks. I
Yeah.
mean, granted, he's thrown some stupid shit in here and there. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I mean, sometimes he does have a pretty good point.
And you remember, I mean, you remember this, because you're older like I am. You remember him on Politically Incorrect back when, before he got
Oh
canceled
yeah, totally.
by the other side. And I'm thinking, dude, you were a flamethrower and you were really good at it. You were a decent comedian, but you were a better flamethrower. And I think if he just returns to his roots, I mean, that's what we need. We need him to turn the filter off, that he was using because he had, TDS or whatever.
Well, and last week he had a point where he could have actually made some headway with a lot of people. And because he went off about how, oh, well, no surprise, Godzilla versus Kong is not only the biggest movie in the country, it's actually putting butts in the seats when people hadn't been able to do shit for a year. Imagine that, He's kind of saying, big dumb entertainment, woo woo. Maybe at that point he could have said, I take back what I said about superhero films. I may not enjoy them, but now I understand, because that's what they are. They're escapism. And that kind of a thing. And that was the great point he made was one thing we needed in the year of 2020, we didn't get was escapism. And he was going off about how depressing all the the Oscars in general. I mean, I don't even want to get on that part, but all stems from the same places. All these companies are taking all these same kind of draconian rules and putting them towards like, oh, you have to have X amount of your crew, this, you have to have X amount of your crew, that. And basically I'll put it this way. I'll say what it is, non-white. Okay. Doesn't have nothing to do with talent. Doesn't have nothing to do with experience. Has everything to do with the color of the skin. And guess what? I can predict what's going to happen. You're going to have a bunch more people like that chick who got fired from Superman and Lois who are going to go out there bitching and calling everybody istophobes because guess what? They suck, but they've been brought up in this culture to believe, oh, you're fucking perfect because of the color of your fucking skin and what's between your legs. And then you're going to have that problem. And then you're going to have another problem. And this is the one that fucking scares me, is when you have a lot of people getting hurt or killed during stunts and shit because stunt teams are chosen by the color of their skin and what's between their legs and not their fucking experience.
You're going to end up with a lot of problems.
Exactly. And that's just one of the beginning of, a ton of other problems you're going to have.
Yeah. Well, and again, when you have to have a merit-based system for pretty much everything. And if you don't, you're going to have bad results ultimately. I mean, you have retail. Retail is one of the most inclusive, diverse things ever across the board. Right. And yet, you're seeing major corporations, retail corporations now, putting in this bologna sausage inclusivity thing, and if been hammering it down people who have already been there. It makes zero sense, because that's not the way the world works. The world works if you're qualified for a job, you get the job, and the immutables don't matter. And the minute you start making it about the immutables, you should be called what you are, which is an R. Right?
Yeah. And Gay Rascal says, FYI, what's between my legs is perfect. Hello, everybody. Hello, Culture Casino.
Hey,
and
it's so good to see you.
I'm
Holy
sure
cow.
it's super, Gay Rascal. That's all I'm going to say.
I miss Gay Rascal. We used to see him every Saturday on Christie's movie streams. I really wish we were still doing those. I miss those. They were a lot of fun. Do you remember those, Tom? A good time.
Yeah, it's been a while. And yeah, you're right. Working in retail sucks.
Yeah. And Dr. Coffinail says MLK's dream is now officially dead. Yeah. Well, trying to kill it. Yeah. And you're right, Fat Steven Seagal. So thank you guys for everybody starting to roll in now. Appreciate all
that's what we're seeing, Steven. And that's exactly what this is all about. And I mean, it may sound silly, but like, okay, let's say you have this issue where, this one stunt team, okay, they're Jackie Chan's stunt team. Okay. They just happen to be predominantly Chinese or whatever. Mm-hmm. But since they already have a main star that's Chinese, they need some black representation. So instead they pick this company that's predominantly ran by black guys. And I'm not trying to say that they're worse off or whatever. But the point is Jackie Chan's team's been working for 50 years. These other guys are just up and coming. They don't have the same experience. That's how you have people get hurt and killed.
Well,
because they just
exactly.
don't know what they're doing.
And enough injuries, if you know anything about Jackie Chan films, enough injuries happen on those sets because they do push it. They push the extremes as far as the
And I
stunts.
hate even making those kind of examples because it even sounds racist to me.
It does, but it's not because you're going, look, your immutables are not important. The story is important. The safety of the production is important.
Everybody's become a checklist now, though.
Yeah, it's a problem. Yeah.
And that's what these are, and you go down and that's what this problem is here. And again, this just speaks to their lack of imagination. If you got a good script in front of you, then there should be nothing stopping you from making it diverse without any problems.
Right.
And there's nothing that says something can't be inclusive. I mean, we have so many things nowadays that, again, unless you're telling a story that's set in the middle of fucking Egypt back in the day, or set in Mexico in the 1800s, or, set in Michigan, suburbs of the 1950s, you're pretty much open-ended on what you can do, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I don't understand this, and I wish we had Script Doctor here for this conversation, because I know he totally would back me up on this. That, like, this is the most ridiculous bullshit ever.
And it's just the problem is that we can keep talking about it and banging on the drum and trying to bring more people in on it so that the conversation's larger. But that's unfortunately the only way we can combat this, is to have the biggest possible conversation about it that we can, and just point out just how wrong it is. Yeah, I've seen this channel where the stuntmen react to scenes, and you're right. So much planning goes into film stunts nowadays, more so than ever before. And you need people with the background to do it. You don't. You know what you don't do? You don't walk in your first day of being a stuntman and do a high fall.
Well, a great example is Bret the Hitman Hart.
Yeah,
he died because of the lack of experience in the stunt crew they were using.
Yeah.
I know that's not movies, but it's pretty much the same thing. It's live action stunts. It's the same business, folks.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of shit can happen. Look at the girl who got killed making Deadpool 2. There's no fucking excuse for that shit. No. I mean, Batwoman's had how many fucking accidents on that set?
Oh, dude, 2 that we know of, 2 serious ones that we know of. There have been reports of others. Production safety is not as important as it used to be because of the other crap that we're having to put up with.
I'll tell you what, back in the day, we didn't have this kind of shit happen. Very rarely would you have the Gone in 60 Seconds kind of situation, or Owen Hart. I'm so sorry, Ron W. My bad. Owen Hart. Yes. Yeah. I knew who I meant. But no, like, I mean, very rarely will you have like the Twilight Zone or the Gone in 60 Seconds kind of thing happening. And both of those instances, it was the guy doing it and he knew the risk and he just put himself there because he figured it was worth the risk. This Twilight Zone thing, well, there's plenty of shit out there. You can get into that, right? Like you can get into that whole thing. But that's another example of people not making sure that their dots, the I's were dotted and the T's were crossed in the physical sense of making sure shit was done correctly. And those are the kind of problems you're going to run into more and more and more. And you're going to have more and more people like Walter Mosley and these other people walk out of fucking writing rooms and saying, these kids are fucking nuts, because they are. Because it's just a bunch of fucking bullshit. It has nothing to do with telling a good story. And I know I jumped topics there really quick, but it all is this. It's all tied to the same thing. It's all like if you're going to worry more about the people's color, their skin, or their sex, then you're just going to end up with bullshit in the end, because that's just so stupid, and it has nothing to do with the overall story being told.
Was she an experienced stunt woman?
Yeah, it was done. Yeah, that part. Yeah, it was a team, and that's what I'm saying. It's not always the person involved, but people take certain risks and whatever. That's a different situation. But in this day and age, I don't see an excuse for that kind of a thing. If it was the 1980s, it's still on the line. The thing with me is the day and age of computer, and as much as they use it to get away with another shit, there's no excuse. There is zero excuse. She should have been able to have an helmet on, and they just put CGI over it. It's just stupid. Or do the fucking stunt in computer. It's
Yeah.
that's what pisses me off is I see so much shit that didn't need to be done in computer. When I hear and see shit like this, it's like it just makes me so pissed.
Well, and you know, and of course that accident, you know, and I just looked up some details real quickly. It says there was a series of safety failures along the way that led
Yeah.
to that, along with some other stuff. So, and you know what? This feeds right into this fat Steven Seagal. Luther isn't black enough, you know, and you know what they
Well,
used?
that's what they want. They want a bunch of stereotypes to represent people.
Which is exactly the thing that we've fought against for a very long time. It's really annoying. It's I can't even believe it. I'm so annoyed at this stuff. One of my major annoyances. It really
Yeah,
is.
and Islington Girl. No, not a new one. This happened during Deadpool 2. And Batwoman had a few we were talking about. We were just bringing up points.
Yeah, a camera bucket. You know those camera buckets that they have that set right down on top of a production assistant on the Batwoman set. The woman was obviously a production assistant, but she was also a stand up comedian. And that happened in filming in Canada. The first actress, Ruby Rose, was injured on set to the point where she had to have emergency surgery because if she didn't,
Well,
what are you saying?
she there's shit going around that she was actually injured on another production, and
Mm.
since she knew that Warner's had more money, she says that the accident actually, yeah. So I'm not gonna.
Weird, because that's been reported that way for quite some time. And
Yeah, but the point being is like you're gonna see more type of shit like this when people are being hired, not because of their experience and talent, but because of their color of their skin and what's between their legs, and it's gonna be a
and
problem.
and Mags, this is where you're 100% right, because the problem is their projection of their issues. That's what's been happening. Hollywood is taking on all this guilt because for 75 years they didn't deal with the problems internally that they already had, right? And so they project it onto their audience, and the majority of us don't care. So we want good escapism and not shite. 100% true. 100% true.
I love it when a lady talks dirty.
I know, she's awesome. I love Max. Ron W for $4.99. Thank you, my friend, for that. Says, do you think there is just not enough movie companies now? I remember in the 80s when there was so many companies and took chances. I remember that too. You had Golan Globus, you had
It's a different world now.
but that's because of the consolidation.
Yeah, that's a big part of it.
And if that's why there's room. Understand that, Ron. This is what I'm talking about all the time. I'm like, look, there's room for us. There's room for independent production companies. There's room for independent television, film, all this other stuff. There's room for it now because of the consolidation. They've created their own competition. I guarantee you, if somebody actually comes to the table with a good film, it makes it into a theatrical release, and then because of its popularity, it goes wide, and that company that produced that independent production will be sought after, and the people are going to flock to that. And you know what? Those people, the people who come out of these independent productions that are doing this kind of stuff to entertain an audience, aren't going to care about an Oscar. They don't care. Not only that, if I think Pauly talks about this all the time, but on a set, when you're on a shooting set, a live set, you will not find more diversity ever. The people that make up the crew, everybody behind the camera.
Well, I'm just sick and tired of this shit because, like, I'm trying to find all these movies where, they've been so white for so long. I mean, granted, there has been some. I'm not going to sit there and pretend. Oh yeah, in some films that are 40, 50 years old, sure, there's some racial stereotypes. I'm not going to say that's not true. Even in some stuff leading up to a certain point, but once you get to like the 70s, most racial stuff that's in movies, it has very little to do with racism and more to do with either a situation, a character, a point in the film. Sometimes it's just a throwaway line that has nothing to do with anything, and I see so much more diversity in these classic films and television. It's just like, where is the problem? And we've said that, and I hate feeling like a broken, a broken clock every single fucking day, but that's like, when are they going to stop and wake up? And hopefully, and I know there's no real fans of Bill Maher in the chat, but I think he's important in this because he's been hitting on it the last few weeks. It's
getting
people like him.
him.
Exactly. It's people like him where it starts. And then
Mhm.
when people like him start saying shit, then other people feel a little bit better about saying shit. Then sooner or later, and people like the whole Gina Carano and Sharon Osbourne being canceled are kind of like turning points. They're points where people are like, now wait a minute, you're canceling people for what now exactly? Um, and this goes back to the whole Matt Damon thing when he was talking about the Me Too thing, and he's like, there's different levels to this shit, and people freaked out on him. And it's like, come on, he's making a point that's
It,
100% accurate.
yeah, because and it's lost on most people is that you know what there's gradations of bad behavior, and we should accept that. Not everybody is Weinstein, right? But Mr. Tickle Trunk said something that was very pertinent to right now during this conversation. Is the thing is people don't understand, and thank you for this, Mr. Tickle Trunk, about this ideology that we're suffering right now is that everything must become a gear in its machine. Any tactic is permissible because utopia is the goal. Thank you for the $5 Canadian. I appreciate that, Mr. Tickle Trunk. And yeah, we don't talk politics on my channel, but we will say this. It's so prevalent and it's so invasive and it's infected every part of our enjoyment right now. And you're not wrong. This ideology tries to tear everything apart and replace it with nothing. Their goal may be utopia, but their utopia is freaking desolate. It's devoid of joy and happiness and escapism and entertainment, and it's not good. So, but it is what it is. And I got your super sticker, right? The Islington girl. I know that I'd missed some stuff along the way. So yeah. So and
Sorry.
yeah, exactly. $2 Canadian again saying, sorry if my first super chat is political. Bad mood today. A lot of people are in a bad mood. I'm not.
Canadian fucking apologizing for shit.
And you didn't need to. And it was fine.
It's just hell.
Yeah. And I wanted to insert it right in the proper tone, right where it needed to be. But this is from that Batwoman lady. A female stand-up comedian? That's funny. Come on, dude. Come on.
There's some pretty funny comedians out there. People forget that too.
Lucille Ball.
Ball.
This is a conversation that we need to have all the time. Lucille Ball ran Hollywood.
Carol Burnett, Vicki Lawrence.
Vicki Lawrence, man, so awesome. Such a great.
She had a fucking TV show, Mama's Family. Fucking loved it. Great show. Man.
But she had a career. With Carol, she had a great career, and then she went off in that direction and just went on forever. And
yeah, it was a spin-off from there, but
yeah, we need more of that, not what we're getting. Right? We don't need the fake people people who have a production company that's, wear a cloak that has all these women directors and whatever not, and says nobody hires these people, including you, idiot.
I remember Facts of Life being a big deal. That was a female-driven show.
Yeah.
A comedy show is my point.
Yeah.
Comedy. I mean, the Hogan family actually used to be a matriarchal show, but of course,
so Roseanne was driven around the female experience. But like I said,
Golden Girls and shit in the 80s.
Golden Girls forever. We have been doing this forever. You people suck. We don't suck. Yeah. You started to suck. Anyway,
we had the Jeffersons. We even had the Cosby. And that's the other thing. The Cosby Show was the #1 fucking show for how many years running? That was the whole thing for The Simpsons. Was they moved the show to Thursdays to compete with Cosby until they could finally beat him.
Yeah.
And it took them I don't know how many years, but they finally beat him. I think it was the Mr. Burns episode is the one that finally beat him, where they shot Mr. Burns, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember, but I do remember that was they were neck and neck constantly for a long, long time. And again, I mean, there's your diversity. And this is really cool. You had a black doctor and you had a black lawyer in the same household, showing a very successful black family with the same
female
problems. Yeah, exactly. With the same real world problems that they were encountering, during the course of life as everybody else. Because guess what? Life experience doesn't have to solely revolve around immutables. Everybody's going to have some similar experience. Common ground is what we used to refer to it as.
Yeah, you had different strokes. Hell, you even had Webster about a black
Yeah,
kid being adopted.
yeah, and
I
Silver
mean, you had Chico
Spoons,
and the
and
Man, and you had Sanford and Son, and like I never understood this shit.
by the
I
way,
don't.
how great was Sanford and Son?
Fucking awesome.
Oh, man, I missed that dude. Red Fox. Oh my
Red Fox is well, he's one of the more undersung comedians. I mean, when
god.
everybody mentions Richard Pryor and shit, they forget to mention Red Fox.
And his album, if you ever get a chance to listen to one of his comedy albums, he will kill you. You will die. It is so funny. Oh my god. Some of that stuff he did early on was amazing. So, and my grandparents, would laugh and laugh and laugh because they had shared life experience. I had a set of grandparents that, were from that part of the country that Red was from. So they had the kind of life that Red, grew up in. So that's just anyway. Stone Cold Jeremy for $5 says, but they get ticked off and when others tokenize and stereotype a POC. Isn't that really weird? Yeah,
Right? But they
they
do it
do.
worse.
Yeah, and they do it way worse. I mean, again, it's I think I highlighted it was probably um Katie Bear. Yeah, Luther isn't black enough because he isn't living
Yeah.
in a man by the river. Yeah, absolutely. 100% right. Yeah. Yeah.
Down by the beach.
Yeah.
Boy. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. New Bomb Turk says, imagine a character like Short Round showing up in a show today or a film. Cities would burn. Why? See, I mean, because that's kind of what they're trying to do with this stuff, isn't it? Yeah, well, they do need to stop fetishizing minorities.
Yeah, there you go, Michael T.
Yeah. The Gay Rascal for €5.49. Thank you, my friend. Says, have you guys seen Benjamin Boyce video about diversity guidelines at Lionsgate Films or heard about it? It's really a thing. It's really something. Oh, excuse me. No, I haven't. Have you seen it?
No, but I'm not surprised. They're all doing it. And this is what I warned everybody when I'm like, look at this shit. When they're like, oh, diversity in the Oscars, they're like laughing at it. Nobody cares about the Oscars. I'm like, no, listen to me. This matters because every single fucking studio is going to start following these fucking stupid rules. And what did we see in the last 6-7 months? Every single fucking studio is now starting to, not just the studios, but a bunch of the production companies, and starting with Bad Reboot. They put out that first manifesto or whatever it was called.
God, yeah, it's time for less white comfort or some shit. I don't even. You just heard me curse on my. This is how upset I am right now. I cursed on my own channel. I don't do that.
Well, I apologize for cursing, but this is what I was trying to warn people. Is like this is where when everybody's like, oh, things are no, they're not going to change. At least not. They're not going to go out without a fucking fight and a half. And I mean, yeah, we're starting to make some inroads here, but it's going to be a while.
5 years, 4 to 5 years. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to keep hammering it away every time I get a chance to talk with Gary or anybody. It's used in particular. Anybody who's got an ear, I'm going to say we still have to fight. This is another 4 or 5 years of shit we've got to wade through. We have to fight this so hard that we turn the tide on this stuff and we stop listening to this infinitesimally small minority that just happens to be loud or is given a voice because of stupid social media. And I guarantee you the day that they try to monetize Twitter the way they've been talking about, and the day that there's a viable platform that or perhaps Minds grows, everybody's going to leave. Twitter will be a cesspool, and that is all. I mean, it's already a cesspool, but at least there's a few decent voices in it. But and again, we have to support independence, and we have to call out the mainstream because while the independents can be successful, and we definitely want that to happen, we certainly want the mainstream to turn their head around. And I think, like I said, I mean, the best shot right now that we have for that probably is AT&T turning Warner Media back into something not stupid.
Well, and New Bomb Turk says Short Round proves a good character can still be stereotypical. It's not mutually exclusive. I'm trying to really force myself to find anything in that character outside of the voice that's really kind of stereotypical. And considering the way Indy found him, that is kind of what it's supposed to be. I
Mhm.
mean, he found him on the street in wherever it was. I can't remember where he said it was, but um, yeah, I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm truly really trying to stretch. And I'd say they treated the actor worse than the Goonies because they took the character of Short Round and they didn't. Then they kind of turned it into a stereotype in Goonies more so. But every kid in that movie is a stereotype. All the white kids are too. Um, but I mean, you could interchange Short Round with any kid, even a kid from New York, and I don't think it really changed much outside of the. Yeah, there was the fortune cookie. Well, there's a few lines here and there, but
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what, Barack, a lot of people turn their backs on Disney productions, television, and so on and
I'd
so
be
forth.
more curious to hear somebody who's actually Chinese or Vietnamese comment on that because that's what the actor is, and I'm trying to
Yeah,
remember where exactly the character. Because he said he found him on the street. Was it in Bangkok or?
something like that. Yeah, I'm trying to.
Yeah,
I'm
he
trying to pull. I'm
caught him
running
trying to
the
steal
movie
his
in my
wallet.
head.
He said, but yeah, or
Yeah,
whatever it was.
yeah, yeah. And yeah, yeah, New Bomb. We know where you're coming from. Yeah, it's that thing, and
No, I wasn't trying to argue with you, but yeah, like that's what I'm trying to say. As far as I can tell, yeah. I mean, mhm.
the only way the mainstream will turn itself around is when the non-woke independents make more money than them. Well, and that's the whole plan, guys, is start to support the good stuff. Godzilla versus Kong, if you can ignore the human beings in it, that's a lot of fun, a popcorn movie. I think Top Gun, the Maverick, Top Gun 2, whatever you want to call it, I think it has a chance of being good. I think they're going to fudge up the Fast and the Furious film. Um, I don't know. What do you think?
I those movies have never been made for me. But what I can say about the Fast and the Furious franchise is going off of what my kid has said because he's an OG fan of the series. It is totally turned into something that he's not as interested in anymore. Because it started out as fast cars and all that kind of shit, and now it's basically turned into car foo, and then now it's like almost superhero kind of level movies. So I mean,
Yeah, that's good. That's a good point. They have turned it into superhero level of stupidity. You know.
yeah, he's kind of fallen out of it a little bit. I mean, I did get him the one with the Rock and Jason Statham, that movie that came out, the spinoff
Yeah,
last Christmas.
Shaw
Yeah,
and Hobbs and Shaw, whatnot.
Hobbs
Yeah,
and Shaw. Yeah,
yeah.
but I don't even know if he's watched it, to be honest with you. But on the same page or a different page, however you want to put it, he's turned around and got into the Marvel movies all of a sudden here in the last few months. So
Yeah.
go figure on that. So, and he's not one who's really ever been into movies all that much. So,
Right. Right. Are you getting hot? You don't have to be up here. You don't have to. Ah.
put him down for a while.
Well, I did, and then he's like, I want to be in C. You
He's
want
in
to
the
see?
show now. He takes over the show. He knows it's the
He does.
attention.
Okay. Well, Aluvrian says the right thing here, I think. I would like to find that I'm no longer the teacup piggy of the week. NDNs are only as good as human shields to these people. It's true. They don't want us around, flat out. And you know what? You're not wrong. I mean, there is a select group of people that they want to cast or put in positions, even hire for these positions at these companies. So go, be a dog. Jeez. But I don't know. It makes me crazy too, just like it makes the people that they're tokenizing crazy. So, and I feel bad for everybody that's happening to.
Absolutely. And that's a point I've always said too, is like a lot of this stuff is not going to change until a lot of people start standing up and say, wait a minute, I'm not your fucking circus freak.
Yeah,
Quit
and
using me as a circus freak. I'm done. And
and
that goes for anybody who's not white and anybody who's not straight and all that kind of shit. Yeah.
yeah, and it's wrong. I mean, watching my friends be used when they're like, this is absolutely not something I'm interested in. Goes counter to everything that we fought for 20 years ago. I mean, it's just it's ignorant. And Nerium, Katie, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about the Disney company basically saying that incredibly written scripts are not being inclusive enough. So they've been turning them down. So the article reads, just real quickly, just to get through some of it. A senior Disney executive acknowledged that some projects get turned down because they are deemed inadequately diverse, reinforcing suspicions that quality content has taken a backseat to political agendas. Nobody can argue with this. Dana Walden, Walt Disney Television's chairman of entertainment, revealed during a recent panel discussion that her network had rejected several pilots, but not because they didn't find the stories compelling. I will tell you, for the first time, we received some incredibly well-written scripts that did not satisfy our standards in terms of inclusion, and we passed on them. So there you go.
Yeah. Which the point I made before is if they're a great script, then it shouldn't fucking matter, and you should be able to just hire actors. Unless it's I'm not going to go through the whole thing again, but yeah, it just makes no sense to me.
Well, and the thing that slaps you in the face should be this. One of the new rules at ABC for their, obviously for their productions, one of the new rules stipulated that 50% or more of the regular and recurring characters in a program must come from minority groups. So they want overrepresentation. It's inequality. They want it to be unequal. Because go around and this is stupidity at its finest. So
yeah, and that's what I'm getting at is if the story, unless the story is specific, in which case most cases that should fit into your diversity quota. Unless the problem is it's got too many male leads, that could be it. In which case you can still diversify it there as well.
Yeah,
and I've made the point, like, in most cases, if it's something that's a good fucking story, a good script with good characters, 9 times out of 10, the race and the sex of most characters won't matter. It won't.
It doesn't. And I'm trying to find something. It's a little preview of the video I'm working on. But look, you're right. That Islington girl. Wallets are the way forward because we can control all this stuff by not paying for it. Eventually, they're going to need some money, and you can have these billionaires that are artificially holding these things up. You can definitely do that, but it's not going to ultimately solve the problem. So anyway, I'm trying to find the thing I want to share. Shoot. Here we go. So 2020 was obviously a very weird year, and
Hell yeah.
when it comes to film going and things like that, we had a handful of films that made it into theaters. So just looking for fun, I went with the top. I went and found this thing, and again, this is going to be part of a video I'm writing a script for tomorrow. Hopefully, that I actually am able to get it together for that. But film demographics by gender. So I think I need to blow this up so people can see. So when you look at this from 2020. You can see Bad Boys for Life is pretty close to 50-50. It's 45-55, 55% male, 45% female. 1917 was a higher percentage. It's a war film. By the way, these demographics are statistically across the board consistent and have been for multiple decades. But 1917, 59% male, 41% female. Sonic the Hedgehog, again, video game film, more oriented towards males who seem to, believe it or not, play more video games. 56% male, 44% female. This is the one that made me laugh because we were telling people this was true and they didn't believe us. But Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn, the most ridiculous name ever put together, 51% male for that, 49% female. More men went to see this female-centric film, oriented 100% female empowerment film.
Female-driven dribble is what I call it. But
there you go. Now, the only one that actually performed better with females was Doolittle, which was a bomb. It was like probably the first bomb that he's been in a long time because Robert Downey Jr. doesn't make bombs. Doolittle was a 52%, 48%, and then we're back to what the average would be, which is you still are damn close to 50-50. You have 53% male, 47% female. And it doesn't seem to matter what anything revolves around. It just doesn't. If it's female driven, male driven, it doesn't matter. The audience is still there, no matter what it is.
Well, if I remember right, it's like an average. Men watch more movies and women watch more television anyway. Like
Well, and
that's
that's
kind of
also
the
true.
average.
But those are the demographics for that, right? And those demographics don't change a whole lot. Here's the other weird thing. So if you want to break it down by ethnicity, because that's here too. Again, this is going to be part of the story I'm working on right now. Um, well, there you go, Tom. I didn't mean to do that. That was not the way to go about that. There we go. You can see the blue is Caucasian white. The purple is Hispanic Latino. The light green, pastel green, is African American black. The light purple, I don't know why they picked all these pastels, but whatever. Asian Pacific Islander, and the light blue is a Native American or other. And you can see the breakdown in these films. Bad Boys for Life, across the board, you had 32% white.
Pretty much 50-50 white and black. Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah. Yeah. And as you walk down this, it's just who's going to be more interested? Well, video game, film. Again, these are all driven
Pretty
by
much.
graphics. This is as expected,
Yeah.
because the films are oriented around characters that you can identify with, but you don't need to see somebody in that. It just bothers me. It just drives me.
I'm surprised Sonic isn't actually more even.
It should have
To be
been.
honest with
Some of this I question, but it's okay. But look at this: Birds of Prey, 44% white.
Birds of Prey so white. Hashtag.
Yeah. And you're looking at 67% of the audience between white and Hispanic, and 20% African American. Now, by the way, demographically, this is closer to the U.S. demographic breakdown right here. Okay, this would be considered
Honestly,
a larger cut of the population.
yeah. Well, here's the thing that's funny is outside of Sonic, the breakdown for like most of these is what I would figure. Like
Yeah.
it's pretty. I'm actually surprised at how much. Well, I am, but I'm not. How much of Latino representation there is,
Yeah.
and I think that's an I mean we kind of saw that, but that's why we're doing Midnight Adjustment. No, but yeah, like
Yeah.
it is kind of surprising to see.
Not really, because it breaks down how the demographics
Or,
of the
you know what I mean? Yeah.
No, I do know what you mean, which is why when I look at the survey average here, I'm like, hey, look at that. You have broad appeal across the board. What I thought was really funny is it's obviously white women going to see Doolittle. Anyway, I just thought it was funny. But so
sure
there you
selling
go.
going to Birds of Prey.
Yeah, so hopefully I can put that into some form. I've been working on the script for 3 days now for that. But all of this, I gather this data and stuff like that, and some amazing people hand it over to me. Willie Woodward, I think, actually handed me this theme report, so thank you for that, Willie. But it's really easy to craft stories because I have the data. I can just say, okay, here let's try to tell let's give a realistic and honest representation of what's actually happening at the cinema. Even in a year where you had an 80% drop. By the way, did you know that we had an 80% drop in film revenue because of the global crisis?
Not surprised.
Man, it's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting. Wow, I'm way behind on comments, guys. I'm very sorry about that. I think Kitty Bear, if this is a late super sticker, I apologize. I can't find it at all, and I got 2 super chats to get to. I think that was a box of popcorn if I remember properly. That was it was a super sticker. So thank you for that. And then let's get to the super chats that I have. Goodness. Gay Rascal again says Ripley in Alien was not written as a female for €2.29.
Yeah, I brought that up before you got in here, but yeah. In fact, all of the characters in that script were written as gender and race neutral.
Yeah, it was just written, and that's the way I put a story together. It's like with the exception of the Western horror I'm putting together, because it wouldn't make sense to do it that way. The primary character is a dude, but every other character could be anybody, because I plan to cast from within our amazing, diverse populace here that watches our stuff. I want to have my friends and people that are dedicated to making, a quality film for a really cheap budget. That's who I want involved in the project. I don't care what your background is. do you have a little bit of acting ability, and can you play the character? I'm going to let anybody, screen for stuff. Anyway, it is what it is. So, let's see, what do we got? Six watches more live streams. Yes, you do. You're everywhere, Six. Thank you for all your support. Appreciate that. The wife, I think that's what Michael T's saying, isn't gamer for playing Gummy Drop. It's the Ark, Cyberpunk, and City of Heroes marathons that make her a gamer. Well, I understand that. Yeah, understand that. Pigs are almost too smart to eat, really. Outsmarting dogs with ease. Oh, I see. In response to Olivia and Makara's teacup pig comment, maybe? I don't know. But
they are smarter than dogs.
Yeah, thank you for that, Willie. Yeah, it's the MPA's annual report. Yep, absolutely. Thank you for that. It was you. That's what I thought. And I gave you credit because I will gladly do that. You guys are awesome. So let's see. We've got Trinoculus P for $10. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. Would love to see movies based on real life, like Ford versus Ferrari. Yeah, and a lot of people love that film. What about the story of R.J. Mitchell racing against his terminal condition to design the Spitfire? Wow, that would be cool. I think that would be a really cool film. Not a bad idea.
I generally like true stories, but the problem with things like Ford versus a Ferrari is it's got too many white men in it.
Guess what? You're telling a story about that's reality based. It's going to be hard.
I know. I'm just making a point, but
Wookie, ugh, this is so tedious. Sorry about that, Wook. I just wanted to show data to people. So, Willie Woodward, dude, it's because of RDJ. As a cis white male, even I gotta admit he's a hot dude. All right, there. Please, guys, get it right. Best Pee Wee Herman voice. Go ahead.
What do you want me to say?
Read that in your best Pee Wee Herman voice.
It's times of pain and constipation of Harley Quinn.
There you go. Thank you, Commander Ed Straker of Shadow. Yeah, and many great roles were written ambiguous. Absolutely. So true. So true. Yeah. You guys are just on fire in the chat. I wish I could highlight everybody. All right. I was just making sure, my friend. I don't want to leave anybody hanging. So, okay. The Gay Rascal says, I just want a trailer, a dresser, a trainer, a pool boy. Okay. And lots of vodka. I'll act for free. You guys are awesome. Well, you won't like where we're shooting. Let me just put it that way. You won't like it. Hero. Oh man, am I catching up? Oh, there we go, Katie. Thank you. Seeing what Disney is doing to their stories and their name makes me sad. Being the old Disney fairy tales heavy fan. Absolutely, Katie. On the other hand, at least we know what mistakes not to make ourselves. Absolutely. And that's why I'm supporting your book. Your comic looks amazing. I cannot wait to have it. And all of the other artwork you're doing for others looks incredible. So someday, if I ever come up with something worthy of being a comic book, I may have to solicit your skills, my friend. Yeah. Thank you, Aluvrian. I'm so glad you were here. Appreciate you. And to all of you that are here, thank you for being here. Wookie, I'm sorry about that. I have never had canine, and I don't think I would ever do that. For whatever reason. Anyway, it is what it is. So, anyway, well, what else did you want to talk about today, Tom? We're an hour and 13 minutes in. We really didn't have a lot that we wanted to venture into today. I think we got all of our.
Totally up to you.
Yeah. I mean, we talked a little bit about MK, which I hope is good. We talked a little bit about Shang-Chi, which I think looks more interesting than it did. That was right at the beginning of the stream before we said hi to everybody. So that was an hour ago.
Yeah.
I don't know. There just wasn't a whole lot. Was there any other entertainment news that floated by? It's a lot of production move. Have you noticed that they're moving? All of the executives are leaving wherever they were to go someplace else. It's usually to some startup, tiny little dirtbag company that is being supported by a VC. Sorry.
No, it is. I have noticed a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I just, but you're seeing a lot of that happen. And here's the interesting thing, guys. We saw a lot of CEOs and CFOs retire right going into 2019 and throughout 2019. And you're seeing the executives in place that are completely different. I wonder if there was a reason for that. I'm going to have to go in the Wayback Machine and start looking it all up. Because, I mean, remember, Iger was on the way out the door when this thing started to go down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
Mags says, I was a huge Disney fan back in the day, more like grew up 80s, 90s Disney. I feel like their destruction to culture now is a slap in the face to my innocent child's years back in the day. No, you're right. And that's exactly what it is. They're trying to retroactively destroy your childhood and any happiness that you got from it. That's what these people are. They're cultural vandals. I don't know. Maybe if they're killing your inner child, they could be considered cultural assassins. I don't know.
They're definitely cultural locusts.
Locusts for sure. Absolutely. They destroy everything they get their greedy little mouths on. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. What did Snow say? Did Snow say something funny? Pigs are smarter than dogs.
Yeah.
But I just fed my Doberman a ham sandwich. Well, there you go.
Oh.
If I were to make a comic book of my own, what genre would it be? I probably would start out with a horror comic first because, dive into what you love. So that's because horror stuff's one of the things I really, as a kid, I mean, I can't tell you how many times. Do you remember how many times you watched Halloween?
God, no.
Hundreds,
if not thousands.
And yeah, I mean, as a kid, I love that
Not
stuff.
about 1,000, but at least hundreds. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I love so much of that genre. I mean, Friday the 13th, all of the Freddy films. Nightmare on Elm Street were just like, I just remember watching like Nightmare like on repeat. Like I think I burned a hole in the tape. It was dumb. So yeah, I think they did abandon ship too. Free acting here. All right, Professor Anthrax, you may get a call. You may get a call or a direct message or whatnot. Of course, if you hang out here, I will tell everybody and I'll put it down in the description when I'm ready to do that. But first, I have to have Script Doctor tell me how poorly I write, and then he'll have to fix it and I'll have to pay him. So, yeah, I knew the Gay Rascal's a huge Disney supporter. Yeah, I am too. I mean, I was born into Disney, guys. I mean, you don't get more Disney than my family. But sounds like Aliens in Independence Day, going world to world, consuming all the resources, then move on. No, that's actually what's happening. Yeah, I mean that's JJ's thing. JJ goes around and destroys thing, and then he leaves like little minions behind to destroy more. Or am I wrong?
No, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Hey, Rob, it's so good to see you, buddy. Did you guys know Rob had a major anniversary happen?
Oh, yeah?
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, or he's about to have it. I have to go through my DMs and but I've been so caught up in doing so much other stuff lately. Rob, I hope everything's going very well, my friend. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Let's see. I think we're caught up, guys. Yep, you had it yesterday. That's what I thought, my friend, and I'm sorry I missed it. But Rob's got a great channel, so guys, do be sure to go check out Rob's channel. It's pretty awesome. So, yep. All right, guys, we need to get out of here. I think Tom and I are done. There's not a lot more we can cover that was terribly exciting or insightful. So I really appreciate you stopping by today, Tom. I know you're super busy. If there's anything you need me to take care of, just let me know. For those of you in the chat, thank you for being here. We truly appreciate that. Anything you want to promote, Tom?
Yeah, I've got no less than 3 different versions of the song Up in Smoke. So I think I'm doing a Mead Radio 420 special in about 10 minutes. So.
All right, beautiful. And there it is in the chat, guys. Please go check that out. It should be pretty amazing. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be listening. I may not be chatting too much, but I'll be there in the background. I listen to Mead Radio religiously, and when Tom does it at night, it puts me out, which I appreciate. So, Tom, you You're great, man. Thank you so much. I do want to say that I hope this is true. I'm getting very close. We're getting close to 2K. We're at 18 and change. Hopefully I can get to 2K sometime around the end of the month. That would be kind of a nice May gift. We also have the unofficial announcement was made today over on Pauly Latino Slants channel for the launch of Midnight's Edge and Espanol. And that is coming up when, Tom?
We got a soft launch coming up, but the actual date we're going to do the big celebration is going to be May 5th. So there you go.
Yeah. Karen Prime, just rewind. I'm not going to private the stream, at least not for a couple weeks. So
you know what? For you, we'll start all over again. All right, let's go from the top.
Oh, I don't know if I could do that.
I'm kidding, of course.
All right. Okay. All right. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate all of you guys. Be sure to take care of yourself. Take care of others, of course. Oh, and hopefully tomorrow I'll have the new credits updated because we got 3 new members. Thank you for that. And we'll be able to get that. But for now, we're about 8 days behind on the credits, but that'll solve itself tomorrow. Anyway, be sure to take care of yourself. Take care of others. Wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene. And until next time, bye.